Hey, everybody, what is up? My name is Sean Hatzel. I'm a 46-year-old stubborn fat expert, and I'm also a grandfather to 4 beautiful grandkids, and I'm the owner of Get Lean in 12, an online fitness community that's reached well over 100,000 people across the globe with a 12-minute metabolic protocol specifically designed for the hormonal condition of people over 35 years old. So if you're scrolling through your feed and you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, stop by, drop a comment below and say hello, let us know where you're from, and pay very close attention because I'm going to share with you a 12-minute metabolic protocol that you can use just 5 days of the week. So 1 hour a week of total exercise time to get all the results that you would ever want. And it's specifically designed for the hormonal condition of people over 35. So way back when I got my start, way back in 1998, I use 4 different types of exercises to achieve an amazing ripped look. You can see me here. This is 1998. I was lean, I was muscular, I was ripped. I placed first runner-up grand champion in the world's largest body transformation contest called Body for Life. Out of over 22,000 finishers, I was fortunate enough to be first runner-up. Now, I don't share that with you to impress you, but to impress upon you that as I got older, and my hormones started changing, I had to change the way that I moved. And that's one of the reasons I'm wearing this dang sling is because I use the wrong types of exercises. So if you're over 35 years old, there's 4 types of exercises you must avoid. I'm gonna share them with you right now so that you can avoid all the headaches that I've been dealing with. And I also wanna share with you that I've used this to maintain 6-pack abs for the last 10 years in a row. You can see this was June of this year. And you can see and learn more about my story and how I came across this protocol at the link somewhere around this video. You'll click it and you'll go over to our website. Don't click it yet because I want to share these 4 exercises that you must avoid first. And you'll also learn all about my beautiful wife, Karen. Karen's 57. She's 11 years older than me. And when we met, here she is this year. You can see how amazing she looks. People are always asking us. They can't believe we're grandparents. They can't believe how young we look for our age. And one of our secrets is this 12-minute metabolic trick that I want to share with you. Now, way back in about 2006, when we first met, she was diagnosed with colorectal cancer. This forced her into early menopause, and it wreaked havoc on her metabolism and her hormones, and she accumulated a bunch of upper belly fat in the weeks following her treatments. So of course, as a fitness professional and somebody who's very passionate about getting my wife back on track and building her self-esteem back up after these treatments, you can imagine the spot that she was in mentally. And so I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that she got back on track. And we tried everything. We tried the 4 types of exercises that I'm going to share with you right now that you should avoid if you're over 35 years old, and nothing worked. And then we implemented this 12-minute metabolic trick into her protocol. And this, again, this is the same trick that I use to get photo shoot ready for the last 10 years in a row. And voila, 10 weeks later, she had a flatter belly, and you can see her after pictures at the link somewhere on this video. Now I'm going to make some claims in the next few minutes when I go over these 4 exercise types. And I'm also going to make some claims about my 12-minute metabolic protocol that I want to introduce you to. I'll substantiate all those claims with peer-reviewed studies, and I'll post them in the comments or in the description of this video. And then when you go over to our website and you learn about my system called the Over 40 App Solution, you'll also see over 30 published studies at the bottom of that site substantiating any of the claims that I'm making. I'm not just making this stuff up. This is evidence-based, scientific proof that this stuff works. So the first exercise that you must avoid if you're over 35 years old is too much cardio. Now, I know cardio is a staple for many people who want to lose weight, and I'm not saying that some cardio can't be effective, but too much cardio wreaks havoc on the metabolism. One study shows it suppresses T4 to T3 conversion. So this is the thyroid, and the thyroid is known as the master gland of the metabolism. The second study shows that too much cardio actually increases cortisol. Now, cortisol is known as a stress hormone, and we want to do everything in our power to keep cortisol levels low. A third study shows that too much cardio actually releases free radicals. Now, free radicals are what's linked to many of today's modern health challenges, and it's what ages the cells inside of our body faster. And then the fourth and final study shows that too much cardio increases hunger. This study showed that people who do too much cardio eat 100 more calories afterwards than they just burned off, making it impossible to lose belly fat. So that's the first type of exercise that you should avoid. The second type of exercise that you should avoid is ballistic movements in today's most popular DVD workouts. This is why I'm wearing a sling. Workouts like CrossFit Insanity. These are amazing workouts. Just look at the transformations and the testimonials. There's no doubt they work, but they're designed for younger people because of the ballistic movements. Not only that, they last 45 minutes all the way up to 90 minutes. I don't know about you, but 12 minutes sounds much more appealing. And not only can these long duration exercises wreak havoc on your body, it can also wreak havoc on your hormones. And I learned this the hard way. I've had knee surgery from doing too much cardio. I've had back subluxations from doing too many crunches and sit-ups, which you should also avoid, and I'll share why in just a second. And then I just had surgery on my shoulder like 5 or 6 years ago, my labrum, and I had 4 screws put in my bicep. And then last week I had 2 rotator cuffs repaired, all because I was doing too much of cardio and too much heavy ballistic movements like Insanity and CrossFit uses. Again, very effective workouts, but if you're over 35 years old, you need to move differently based on your current hormonal condition. And the third exercise that you should avoid is the crunches and sit-ups like I previously mentioned. You know, Men's Health published an article a couple years ago, talked about how it takes 22,000 crunches just to burn 1 measly pound of belly fat. And this is 1 measly pound of belly, 22,000. Also, Stuart McGill, who's one of the world's leading back experts, talks about how repeated flexion of the spine by using things like crunches and sit-ups can actually be one of the leading causes of herniated disc. And now I find that this is probably going to be responsible for my back problems that I have in today's day and age. Now the fourth and final exercise type that you should avoid if you're over 35 years old is too much interval training. Now interval training can be very effective, and that's what I used way back in 1998 when I did this. It was heavy ballistic weights and interval training. And it worked, but my hormones were a lot different back then. And over time, I thought more was better, so I do more intervals because my results started diminishing as my hormones changed. And after doing some research and doing a deep dive into the science, I discovered that I was doing too many intervals and it was causing adrenal fatigue. So the solution is to use the 12-minute metabolic protocol that you'll find at the link somewhere around this video. And when you go over to that page, not only will you read about my wife's inspiring story, you'll see 5 guides that you're going to get today when you take action. And I want you to focus solely on the success tracker. That'll get you the fastest start possible. And I want you to focus solely on the hormone diet optimization manual. These are the only 2 guides that you need. The rest is there for you whenever you want to, but I just want you to focus on that success tracker first. And then when you have time, dive into the hormone optimization diet manual. We all know that exercise is the catalyst for the results that occur while we rest and nourish. So obviously diet is a huge part of this equation, and the diet tricks that you'll learn about inside this manual are specifically designed for people over 35 years old. And that's why we call it the Hormone Optimization Diet Manual, because it helps you optimize hormones. Now, one last thing before I go. We are 8 minutes in. If you are still watching, I love you, because it is very hard to keep people's attention for this long online. So thank you if you've made it this far in this video. If you're learning something here, do me a favor, give me some hearts, give me some likes, tag a friend who might benefit from this if they're over 35 years old. And then one last thing I want to share with you outside of our money back guarantee. See, I guarantee you this will change your life in ways you've never imagined if you just apply yourself. It's one thing to download the manual, but it's another thing to go use it. And when you use this, I guarantee you this, that you'll lose belly fat faster, and the discipline that you use for just 12 minutes a day, 5 days of the week, 1 hour per week of commitment to improve every area of your life. My wife Karen and I know that when we focus on this stuff, we have a stronger marriage, we're better husbands and wives to each other, we're better parents, we're better grandparents to our grandkids, and we're better fitness professionals. We can help and serve you better by taking action. And the last thing I want to share is that for every person who goes over to our website and grabs a copy of my system, remember, 90-day money-back guarantee, so you can try this thing for 3 months straight, and if it's not working, we're going to give you all your money back, no questions asked. But we're still going to take $1, and we're going to give it to a needy child and give them clean water for almost 90 days. Now, $1 might not seem like much, but this year alone, we've raised over $40,000. We'll hit well over $50,000 installing water wells through our strategic charitable partnership with Living Water International. So by taking action today and transforming your body using the same 12-minute metabolic protocol that my wife Karen and I used, and avoiding the 4 exercise types that I just shared with you, you're also helping us give clean water to a needy village in a third world country. And this year alone, Get Lean in 12, my company, has installed 4 water wells across the globe with this amazing charity. So I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to check this out. Time is our most precious commodity. So I'm very grateful that you listened to this video. Thanks for watching and keep going strong.